Okay, Krista, I think we're live.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, listen, welcome to another episode of LunchTalk Live. It is 1 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
And we use Central Time because that's where I'm at. There's no way I can do the math in my head fast enough to let you guys know what's going on. All right. Maria Malik, our special guest, is on today, a public speaking coach. I've spent some time with this young lady, and I think she's awesome. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear a little bit of her story. We're going to bring her on in just a few seconds. And then Krista's got a little nugget she dropped. I did not know. We're going to let you guys all know about this in a second. Donnie, we ready to go? All right, we'll talk to you in just a few seconds. Be right back. Welcome back. Chris.
Hey. Hi.
There's Maria. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rigo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're pumped to have you. All right, you know the deal, guys. If you are watching, let us know. Drop a hashtag live and start dropping in your questions for Maria as we get ready to go. And so, Krista, what was it that you were sharing with Maria and I here before we started the show?
You know, I just like to keep little secrets around. It's fun. So I have my undergrad. So my bachelor's degree is in public relations and public speaking. Here's a little fun fact. I wanted to be a firefighter and I wanted to do their PR. So I wanted to go in, serve my time, and then become their public relations representative. But my husband,
I was like, didn't you marry a firefighter?
Yeah. So when I married him, he goes, no, thank you. That's what I'm going to do. And I was like, what? You took my plan. So then I told him I wanted to be a cop. And he was like, that's a hard pass. So I got my master's in secondary education and I taught English at inner city high schools where I taught my people how to speak English and how to write the written language and comprehension. And so I'm so excited, Maria, to chat with you today because I feel like we're in the same wheelhouse.
Yes, I am too. I feel like we're going to learn so much and just be able to bounce off of so many ideas together.
Yeah.
So one of the things too, Maria, that struck me was your story. So, you know, we all have a why into, you know, how we get into things and how that journey ends up taking us. So, you know, when you shared your story, it actually made quite a huge impact in the LinkedIn community.
I was shocked.
Yeah, that was nuts. It was like overnight, that thing went viral, had like over 1 million views. I think you ended up picking
2.5 now.
What?
It's like, I think it's at 2.5 almost.
Oh, holy mackerel. Yeah, I think you went like 20, 30,000 followers like in a week. It was nuts.
Yeah, insane. I didn't even know that was possible on LinkedIn.
You know, it happens. Now, why that matters, I would like, if you can, take a few minutes and explain this because, first off, what we're going to be doing is bringing our audience some tips. So when you're done with this episode, hopefully you have something learned. Like always, this is what we love to do here. Part of the Contagious Leadership series is bringing you tools that are going to help you be better in whatever area, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's in just your only like your normal everyday life. And Maria, I told you that I'm a huge believer that public speaking as a skill set to me is a necessity.
Yes.
Right. It is a necessity. I don't think that this is something that is one of those like optional. I think we should all learn how to speak because it helps us communicate, and communication is key in, I think, a peaceful harmony in any community. Right. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So I would like you to really share your story with us, share your story with our audience on how you got to this place.
Sure. So I guess for me, the biggest thing is that I'm an introvert, and I think I'm a true introvert. I could have gone days without saying a word. That's how quiet I was. I was shy. I didn't want to speak up. I hated going out, even at school. Like, I was invisible. Nobody knew who I was. No one knew anything about me. And, I was getting through high school like that. And obviously, if you know a little bit about my story, I was like that at home too. And I'm a strong believer in the way that you are in your personal life, you end up becoming the exact same way in your professional life and in school. So obviously, me being very quiet, shy, that I finished high school, and I started to look around me. I started to see people that were, very outspoken, and I would admire them. I'd be like, wow, that's so amazing that, they can do that. They can stand up, speak however they want to speak. These were the same people that were getting like all the jobs that I wanted. They were the same people that were moving up the corporate ladder. So eventually when I got into the corporate world, I was still very quiet. I was still not very spoken. I'd come out a little bit from my shell, but every opportunity that I wanted would kind of go to another person. And I was never the smartest in the room, or I was never the type of person that knew what to say and how to say it, but I knew my stuff, right? So it was kind of surprising to me that people around me that were not the brightest, but just because they were so confident in themselves, they would get those opportunities. They would move up the corporate ladder. They would get the jobs that I wanted. They would get invited to the parties that I wanted to go to. And they were just overall living the life that I wanted to live. So I think I really started to look into it, and I was like, what is it about these people that everybody loves? And why is it that they are moving up the corporate ladder so much faster? Why are they getting all of these results while I still feel stagnant? I'm not going anywhere. Nothing is moving. So I think I really took out a lot of time to analyze them. And the biggest thing that I learned was that these people were confident in themselves. They believed in themselves, right? So nothing around them could have shaken that confidence for them. These were the same people that would speak their mind. They would speak up during meetings. They were the same people that anytime they would go out, they would make friends. And me being an introvert, that was very hard for me to do. It's something I completely tried to avoid. So these were the reasons why I was feeling like I was moving backwards, if anything, right? So I started investing in public speaking. I took courses. I started, I hired a coach. I started learning, and then I started applying everything that I started learning. And when I tell you within a year, my life completely changed, it's an understatement. I was getting the jobs that I wanted. I was getting invited everywhere. I was getting opportunities that I could have only dreamed of. And like I said, I've never been the smartest in the room, right? I was just always like an average student, average everything. But because I learned how to speak, because I understood people, because I understood how to bring out my personality and connect with an audience, it took me so far ahead. And I think one of my biggest achievements that I talk about a lot is when I moved to the US, I wanted to work for Stanford. And when you apply for Stanford, it's over 100,000 applicants per job. So I applied, I got the job. And then when I asked my manager, I was like, what is it about me that you like? And she was like, you were just so confident in yourself. She's like, that just completely stood out to me. There was no question. Right. So I think that speaks volume. And it's only because I knew how to connect. I knew how to talk. I knew what to say and how to say it. So it's been life-changing for me.
Yeah. So two things come up for me while I hear you share your story that I think are incredibly important. So Grant Cardone has a book. It's called Sell or Be Sold, right? Mm-hmm. And if we don't have a voice, if we don't know how to sell ourselves or how to speak up, then opportunities, because we're always, listen, even as little kids, when we want something, we are selling our parents on it. And that takes a skill set. That takes an ability of being able to communicate what you want and then advocating for what you want and continuing to show up and to give proof and to speak up and to say it, right? Exactly. And the other thing that I hear that is really powerful is that, so you and I are polar opposites, right? Like you're the quiet person who's always listening and who's making connections and paying attention. And then I'm the loud person who I overlook a lot of really important things because I'm loud and I'm in my own head and thinking. So it's really incredible to see both sides of the spectrum, because my guess is you had a lot of value to bring to the table when you did speak up, because you spent a lot of time listening and observing and making connections and seeing the whole picture, where sometimes people like me who are naturally extroverted and loud and opinionated and speak up, who you were admiring at one point, right? We miss a lot of the really important good stuff because we don't take the time to listen and to be quiet. And so all of that just kind of popped into my head while you were talking, like, wow, that's so valuable, and seeing where you came from. Because my guess is that you were able to show up in your power even more because you spent so much time listening as a younger student, as a younger person in your journey. So that's really incredible and super inspirational and motivational for anyone listening who feels like they've kind of been some of the background people so far.
That's awesome. Krista, you're right. And as we get into this, Maria, I'm listening to both of you guys. It's interesting. Does excitement for the person that has not an issue speaking, but speaks too much, does that come out of excitement? Because like you, Krista, when I get really excited about something I'm speaking about, it almost overwhelms the conversation. And I've come out of opportunities where we're sitting with clients and although things went well, I knew that if I'd have been able to kind of hold back a little bit, I probably would have heard more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Maria, what's your your take on that? Like, what have you seen from that perspective?
So I'm a strong believer that listening is just as important as speaking, right? You have to listen to understand first. And it's interesting what you said right now, Rigo, about, how you sometimes have so many things to say. And I think there are two types of people typically, for the most part, right? There's a few in between. We have the people that just like to speak and they say so much, then they go all over the place. It's hard to follow what they're saying. They're saying a lot and it could be a lot of good things, but as a listener, it's so hard to understand, okay, what was the point? Or wait, where are we going with this, right? And then you have the other end of the spectrum where some people just find it very hard to speak at all and they don't say enough. And that is a problem as well, right? There's very few people that are in between. So my tip to anyone that's listening is anytime that you're speaking, you're trying to make a point, always try to do a simple thing, right? Count it on your hands. You always want to make sure you have your introduction. That's the most important thing. If you're meeting somebody for the first time, introduce yourself, then get into, why you're saying what you're saying, right? And then you have your 3 points. So just like Krista, you were talking, you said like an essay. You have your introduction, you have point 1, point 2, point 3, and then you have your conclusion, right? Why am I telling you this? This is a lot of things, a lot of times we forget, right? So remind yourself, why am I talking about this, right? Or what was the point again? Summarize everything that you're talking about. So if you can kind of speak that way, where you have your introduction, the main point, right? Get into the 3 reasons why, and then speak about why you're telling this. What was the importance of this, right? Remind people, again, this is why we're talking about this. People have very short attention spans nowadays. So
what?
You can remind them.
What?
You knew that was coming, Maria.
Yeah, what?
Okay, good point. So yeah. I found that to be the best way to kind of remember to stay on track. And also if you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're not saying enough, you're like, oh wait, all I talked about was one thing. Let me throw in a few more things in there.
Let me tell you what, Maria, there's 2 people on this right here, the show. That is not our problem. Okay. So for Krista and I, that is not our problem.
Yeah. I was that person that would just not say anything. I would be like, yeah.
But I love what you brought up, Maria, because here's the truth. It's a double-sided skill set, right? Like if I want to be good at public speaking, I know that my weak point is going to be listening and observing and doing. Listen, Maria. Okay. Let's just get a little moment of truth here. I was talking to my husband because my 40th birthday was 2 weeks ago. Okay. My 40th birthday was 2 weeks ago. And
she's a liar. She turned 30. Go ahead.
We're sitting in the car on our way to a baseball game. And I looked at my husband and I go, hey, I'm going to write a blog about the 40 things that I would tell my younger self in life, motherhood, business, and just whatever comes to my mind. And he goes, okay, cool. And I go, if you were me, what is the first thing that you would tell your younger self? I kid you not. It's in my blog. You can go fact check me. He said, listen more than you speak.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hilarious. That is so rude. And he's like, but true.
So I want to do let's do something fun. Maria, you had said that you had brought something up when we had first talked. First off, just to let you know, I'm glad you're feeling better. We did miss you a couple weeks ago.
Sorry about that again.
No, don't even worry about it. Nikki and I held it down. Yeah, no.
I'm doing so much better now.
Yeah, Nikki and I held it down, but you know what sucked was I think we talked about it after, but I had like all these notes here from some of the public speaking stuff that I'd been working on, but I printed it out really quick and I forgot to like I had like 9 pages of notes, like worksheets and stuff, because we've been working on something like this for a while, which I'm really excited about having you here because I really want to do more with you and the folks out there that are listening. But I didn't number them, and I'd done something like this, and I mixed it, and right in the middle of the show, I was like, oh, crap. And I couldn't tell which page was what, right? And Nikki was like doing her best job. It was listen, it was a great show. Everyone was like, oh, that was great. When we got off, Nikki and I were like,
oh my God.
Right? Like, because we were just, because we were like, Maria was supposed to do this. All these live shows. All right, so I want to do some fun.
Hilarious.
All right, so Krista, we're going to put you on the hot seat. I know that. Well, I'll get a chance.
Okay.
I'll get a chance. All right. We'll do it too.
Answers. You have the cheat sheets.
I don't know. I have nothing. I have nothing. This is going to be Maria.
Okay.
Maria is going to challenge us. So Maria, walk us through one of the challenges you work with your clients. All right. So we're going to do this live. And just so you guys know, I'm being 100% honest. I'm just bringing this up because I think it'll be really fun and we can get some interaction with you guys. And I want you guys to play along too. I did put something up and maybe we'll pop it up. What personality type are you? I want to know. So let us know, drop it in the comments and help us understand the personality types that are here watching live. If you are catching us on a replay, do a hashtag replay, let us know. And we'll kind of reach back out as we look to get you guys some tangible stuff in your hands that'll help you connect with Maria and see the things she's doing and see how she's helping her clients. But Maria, let's do this. You challenge us live. And am I lying? Right? We have no idea this is coming. You're gonna.
No, okay. I'm sweating. It's fine. Okay.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull myself out right now so that you just see the ladies, and it's hot seat time.
Okay. I don't even know what. Okay. Ready, set, go.
Okay. So something that I guess I work with my clients and something that people absolutely love is impromptu speaking, right? That's one of those things. If I ask you a question, you're like, wait, what? Right? It's very hard for people.
Yeah.
So I guess what I would like to do is maybe ask you a question, see how you word it, see how you answer it, and give you a little bit of a critique on it. Do you want to do that?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, awesome. So I ask a variety of questions. We go all over the place from what would you do if you were the president of the United States to I'll ask you this question. And this is a fun one. So you might like this one, Krista. Okay. So your question is, Krista, and you have 2 minutes to answer it. So I will actually put on my timer.
Oh, okay? Gosh.
And when there's, I know this is why it's tough, right?
Yeah.
So when there's 30 seconds left, I'm going to let you know, Krista, you have 30 seconds.
Okay.
Rico's like, oh God, I'm so glad that's not me.
I'm so glad you're first. That's all I'm saying. All right. Hold on. You ready?
With my clients.
Okay. All
right, Krista, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you have 2 minutes to answer this. So Krista, your question is, you wake up in the middle of the jungle.
Okay.
What do you do? 2 minutes. Start now.
Oh, the first thing I would do, am I naked or am I clothed? Okay, the first thing I would probably do is find something to cover my lady bits with. And then the next thing I would do is probably check out and surveillance my surroundings. Like, are there lions, tigers, and bears, or what am I dealing with here? And then the next step that I would probably take is, okay, how am I going to cover myself up? What shelter am I going to get? And what are the items around me that I can create some kind of structure to keep myself, safe from the elements, the sun, the rain, and all of that stuff. And then, of course, because I'm a nutritionist, the next thing I'm going to think about is food and water. How in the world and what in the heck am I going to do? What do I have? Do I have to go spear a fish? Do I have to go wrestle a tiger? What do I have to collect water or rain? Or what do I do with any of those items to collect food and water? And then the next thing I'm probably going to do is just chill and say a few prayers, because this could go sideways in a million different ways. And I might draw an SOS in the sand. just in case a helicopter or a plane goes by. And then I should probably figure out something with fire. So I'm gonna have to cook something, or maybe I could do like a big smoke SOS cloud up somewhere.
30 seconds.
Yes. And then I think that's about it. Maybe climb a tree or two and see how far the island goes, and just continue to problem solve and to take my next best step so that I don't die on said island or jungle or wherever I'm at.
Perfect.
All right. All right. There we go. I like the lady bits.
Yes.
I was laughing for that. I must have missed that, but there was a part that you were naked on this island?
Well, I just assumed I got dropped off naked.
I'm like, where did I'm like trying to go back and I'm looking
glad
at
you thought of
like,
that. Some people don't even address that when I ask them that question. So.
I'm like, oh, we're naked?
Am I wearing khakis and like an adventure shirt, or am I nudie? Which, listen, I don't know why it matters what's happening to my lady bits if I'm by myself.
Well, that's the whole thing. I was like, okay, all right, Eve. She's like, my lady bits. That was it. I completely lost focus of what the whole thing was at that point.
That was my strategy. So that the rest of it just.
They says, what do I last remember? How do I get there? I thought that was funny.
So, Krista, I'd love to do an analysis of your speaking style.
I would love to hear. I would love to hear the analysis.
I know.
Yes. That's so. I do this. Like I said, I do this with my clients once a week. I get everybody on a call. So there's lots of people on a call. We do fire rapid rounds. You get asked a question, and then I analyze you, and I let everyone else analyze you. And it's great to hear from other people what they liked, what they didn't like, right? Because you're gonna notice things that you're doing. You're like, oh, I had no idea I was doing that. So first of all, the biggest thing with you, Krista, is you have great body language, right? You use your body, and you're positioned perfectly camera-wise. I can see your hands, right? You move around your head, so you're not like staring, into our soul, and it's like that gets uncomfortable for people. So you're looking around, right? You're
the dark stare, the uncomfortable dark stare.
Some people do that when they talk; they just stare, and you're like, oh, it's kind of weird,
you don't know where to look. You're just like, oh.
Or some people just look down, right? So you have great body language. You're using your hands, you're looking around, and you're making eye contact, which is amazing, right? The second thing that I love about you, Krista, is you're very natural and your personality shines through, right? A lot of the times when we're at work, we're doing public speaking, we feel like we have to pretend to be this perfect person that now we sound so robotic and we sound so scripted. But with you, you're yourself. I could tell this is totally what Krista would do, right? That's the first thing you think about. Oh my gosh, how do I cover myself? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that, right? And you're laughing. This is meant to be a funny question. If you were answering this seriously, I would be like, Krista, hello. Like, this is supposed to be funny, right? So you're natural. It did not sound scripted at all. It was coming off as this is Krista. And that's, I think, the biggest thing people forget. When you're talking, let your personality shine through. That's how you're going to connect with an audience, right? You don't want to sound like a robot, and you don't want to be completely on the other end of the spectrum too. Be true to yourself. And I think that's the best thing, the way that you're able to be true to yourself. Okay. So I also like to always give you pointers on how you can be better. So if you're up for it, Krista, I'd love to.
Compliment sandwich me, Maria. Compliment sandwich.
Oh yeah. You weren't here for that one, but that's right. This is all about the compliment sandwich. You have to go back and watch that one, Maria.
Yes. So on the other side, right? How can you make this better? And this is something I see so often with people. We focus so much on our introduction. We focus so much in the middle. And what do I need to say? Okay, I'm going to make this sound so amazing, that we forget about our outro. We forget about the ending.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone's like, okay, well, that's what I would do. Okay, bye. Right. And they leave. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. It leaves so many questions. It just leaves an audience pondering wait, okay, that was weird. Right. So with you, I would definitely focus a little bit more on the outro, right? As I like to call it. So remember the outro, the fifth part, right? So this is when you want to summarize a few of the things that you want to talk about, right? This is also a great time to repeat the question because like I said, people have short attention spans. By now they've forgotten. What are we talking about again? Oh yeah, Krista's in a jungle. What was she going to do? Okay, so repeat the question towards the end, right? That really helps people remember again. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. So once you do that, right, leave it open-ended. bring that question back to the other person and say, so this is what I would do. I'd love to hear what you guys would do too. Or what is something you would do, right? When you bring it back, people love talking about themselves. If you bring it back to them and you make people ponder about how they would answer that question, now you've built that connection. Now people are like, okay, it's not just about Krista. She cares about me too.
That's so good, Maria.
That's
amazing.
Can we, so like taking that then, Krista?
Yes.
Should we try to, not the baby bits or lady bits or whatever it was? You know what I said?
That's right.
I'm sorry. Right. Sorry. Okay. Little squirrel moment. Number one, all I thought was looking for rum. I thought on an island, I'm going to go find
Captain Morgan.
I was Pirates of Caribbean the whole time. I'm thinking, where do I find the rum stash on this little island? That's so you were Lady Bits.
Yes.
And I was rum.
Maria, can I tell you why I think the critique that you gave me, and a lot of people don't like critique. I'm a 2-sport college athlete. I have had people tell me my whole life, do better, do it this way, do it that way, make a correction. And so what I love about the feedback that you just gave me is I was recording a Facebook Live that I told you right before we started the show that putzed out on me. It totally stopped like 9 minutes into it. And one of the things that I'm going to do, because I'm going to record it as soon as we're done here doing our live show here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, at the end, I'm going to ask them, how are you going to spring clean your nutrition before spring break this year? And instead of ending it with what I had it, like whatever it was that I had at the very end, now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to make it a habit to kind of leave the ball in their court and see how that works for me. I think that's incredible. I think people want to be heard and people want to be asked. And because I'm not a great listener, I'm going to start asking people, right?
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
So yeah, I was thinking, why don't we just do it right here real quick, that feedback and redo your ending on the island.
Okay.
Why not? Right? Like,
yeah. Okay. So you want me to redo my ending?
Redo the ending. Yeah. With the outcome outro.
Okay. Are you ready? Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready.
All right, friends. So that's what I would do if I were stuck in a jungle. I would cover my lady bits. I would find shelter. I would get food. And then I would probably send out some kind of help, right? SOS or that smoke cloud that we talked about. I'm so curious, if you were stuck on the same island, what action would you take? What would be your first, second, or third item that you would try to collect or understand or problem solve with? I would love to hear from you.
All right.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
That's awesome.
See, now it's like it's just so beautiful because once you do that, now you're connecting with your audience, right? Totally. And a big part of public speaking is connecting. And that's what we forget. Everyone thinks, oh, you're a speaker, you have to be the one doing the talking, you have to do everything. No, your audience is just as much part of it. So you got to bring them in. You got to find ways to bring them in.
I love that. That's so powerful. I can totally tell you right now that I will be able to implement that today into what I'm already doing. And you're right. I mean, I'm a health and weight loss coach for busy moms on the go. My mamas want to be heard and they want to be seen. And so anything that I can do, any little tweak that I can make along my journey and in my business to help them feel seen and heard, the better things are going to be. So thank you so much for that tidbit, Maria. That was so good.
Of course. Happy to help.
So one of the things that we talked about is overcoming the fears, Maria. And we know a lot of people tend to have fears of public speaking. You know, I was having a conversation with some of our clients, and I think this has to do with a social media setting as well. So, you know, we work with a lot of sales and business development people, and in those environments, in a networking environment or a conference or a trade show, you know, it's game time, right? They get out there, they do their thing, they're networking, socializing, they're getting to meet people, learning about the market and where the needs are at, and they have no problems with that engagement. You get them into a social setting like LinkedIn, and all of a sudden now they lock up. And it's interesting because, you know, for some of us that have done this and gotten past these particular hurdles or fears, we've recognized that really they're the same. It's just a different medium in outreaching to our market, reaching out to those that need the help that we can provide. What can you help this audience with, and those who are looking to get that advice, or even, looking to get into a program that you have? What can you give them and offer them that helps them pass that initial fear of what they have, because I believe that a lot of people are creating this perception in their head. Oh, I'm not a good speaker, or I'm afraid of being in front of people. And there are some that legitimately just don't do well in a conversation. And I think this is important, but for those that need to overcome that little step that gets them to the next place, how do you work with your clients on that, and what can you offer?
Yeah, Rigo, it's a great question. And I can talk about this for hours, right? That's how important this question is. And for me, week 2 is all about fear-based stuff, right? This is where we tackle your fear. So there's so many different reasons why you may be afraid of public speaking, right? There's different types of fears, right? There's fear of people. There's fear of judgment, fear of being embarrassed. There's even fear of selling, right? When you're going into an interview, you have to sell your skill sets and people are afraid. So there's so many different types of fear. So the first thing that I do when I work with my clients is I figure out what that fear is, right? You need to know exactly what it is, where it's coming from. So that's kind of one aspect. The second aspect, right, of fear is majority of people that have the fear of public speaking, they have that fear because while you were growing up, right, you just weren't given that opportunity to speak up, right? You weren't asked for your opinion by your parents, by your peers, by your teachers, by your friends, right? So those are the people that are not used to speaking up, and they are afraid because they just haven't had that practice their entire lives. Whereas people whose parents are like, sweetie, like, what do you think of this? Or how would you handle this, right? Studies do show that those are the people that grow up to be more extroverted, and those are the people that are not afraid of speaking. So there's so many things when it comes to fear, but if I was to give you like a quick tip on what you can do and to help you, is something that I want to focus on is mindset. Okay, so for example, let's say that you are at a network and you're really nervous because there's going to be a lot of important people there. You don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to say things. So what is the first thing that we do? We tell ourselves, right? Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I can't do this. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make a fool out of myself. You talk down to yourself, right? So you're programming your brain to fail, right? So when you constantly think, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, your brain starts looking for ways to make you fall.
Okay? That primal brain is so tricky, Maria.
Exactly. So here's a quick tip that's very powerful if you do it correctly. Before getting to your destination, right? Instead of having that negative talk with yourself, instead of saying, I'm going to be nervous, instead of saying, I'm nervous, tell yourself, I'm really excited. Right? This is going to be great for me. I'm going to meet so many great people. I'm going to be able to network. I'm going to really impress people with my skills. Give that talk to yourself instead. And when you do that, like, there's a reason why this works so well. Just think about sports, right? Your coach tells you, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to do this. And they hype up the team, right? It's that mindset. There's a reason why we repeat these things to ourselves. When you do that, your brain starts looking for ways to make stuff happen. So give yourself a positive prep talk. Don't tell yourself, I'm nervous. I can't do this. This is going to go horrible. Tell yourself, I've got this. I'm really excited to be here. I can't wait to meet all of these people, right?
Yeah, that's so powerful.
Start doing that.
It's so good. And Maria, our primal brain is designed to make us right? That's our ego brain. It's our primal brain. And its only job is to make sure that whatever we tell ourselves is true. Even if outside of our brain, it's not really true, right? It's our reticular activating system. And so whatever information that we give our reticular activating system, its only job is to go, okay, find evidence for Maria, find evidence for Krista. So if I'm saying I'm nervous, I can't do this, I'm going to be overwhelmed, your brain goes, okay, find evidence for that and make sure that she's right, because we have to fuel her ego in this moment. But I love what you just said. If we say, I'm going to meet new people. This is going to be an incredible opportunity. I get to dress up. Then your brain goes, ooh, meeting new people, getting to dress up. Yeah, this is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, you're going to notice an energy shift, and you're going to notice a difference in your performance, and you're going to notice a difference in how you speak if you talk to yourself that way before getting up in front of your audience.
Okay, so quick question. What if you just talk to yourself like all the time?
Well, what are you saying to yourself?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if any of that is totally appropriate right now on a live show, but a little pump up confidence, maybe. I don't know. No, this is great. Maria, this is phenomenal. So I'm having a good time. To me, this is great. This advice is awesome. I got tons of notes. I love what you're offering here. I want to give everybody just a quick moment. If you are getting any value out of this, please let us know. All right. So there's two things that we want you to do. Three. Number one, Chris is awesome. You need to get to know her. You need to grab her LinkedIn profile, go follow her, connect with her on LinkedIn, get to know her, understand how she's helping. Same thing with Maria. I want you guys, if you want to know more, get on Maria's page. You can book a time with her. Good luck. Just throwing that out there. But she's doing a lot right now. But you can grab a time with her and get to know more about the program that she's doing. I think what she's doing is wonderful. And I'm really excited about how she's helping people. And I'd love more and more people to get to know her as well. So please find out what she's doing, connect with her. Next is I want you to connect with us because we want to bring more of this information to you. And I want to know what value you find in it. So it's real simple. The way that you do it is you take lunch to 316-799-8052. And that joins our community list. So that's through community. And we text you when we go live and we text you when we have something to offer. And that's it. I don't bug you guys any other way, but that's it. Join our community. Let us know because I want to be able to keep bringing you value. And I want to know what is valuable to you so we can help you get through those hurdles in your life, whether business, personal, we don't care. This show is about bringing improvement to you and helping you grow in your personal or professional career and walk. So, all right, that was it. That was the one thing I wanted to put out. And I want to know, what do you think about this program right now? I'm still looking to see in the comments, what personality are you? Are you the Rigo and Krista personality? Okay, that was the not having a problem with things to say. Are you the other type who really doesn't know if you have enough to say, and that is where the fear builds? So anyways, drop it in the comments. Let us know. Bob saying, Rigo, always having a good time. Very valuable. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Donnie. Donnie puts it up. Yeah, I guess you guys don't see it, so unless we put it up. So, Krista, what are you getting out of this? Obviously, you're getting a lot, especially with what happened. Right
Yes. Well, so here's all I can think about as we're talking is, I have a business where I coach coaches on how to create a thriving nutrition business like I have. And so one of their biggest struggles, Maria, is at some point, in order to make that connection with your avatar and with the person that you want to show up and serve, you have to get on video, whether it's live or pre-recorded. You have to establish yourself as the authority. And in 2022, we know that the best way to do that is to get in front of a camera, is to get in front of an audience and to speak. And people know, like, and trust people who they can make connections with, whose voices they hear, and whose ideas they can follow and relate to. And so for me, I'm super excited to share with my to share with my current clients who are building their own nutrition programs exactly what you just shared. Having a framework, I think, is so important, Maria. And that's what you laid out for us today, is a framework, right? Of course, it starts with mindset, and then the 5 points that you gave us, and then making sure that we wrap things up with putting it in their core, I think is going to be huge in helping anybody overcome, public speaking and getting stuck. I also love that you highlighted the benefits of somebody who's really outgoing and has a lot to say, and then the people who don't. Like, it's a double-edged kind of sword here. And I think what's really great is for people to identify, which one am I and where can I work? Where can I be better? Right? So, I mean, so many great things out of this conversation. I love it.
Thank you. I agree, Krista. We've talked about so many amazing things here. And, the one thing about speaking, and I want people to know, is sometimes people think, oh, I'm an introvert and I can't do this, or I'm an extrovert and I can't do this, right? The thing is, you need to embrace who you are, right? I never teach people, hey, try speaking like this person or try speaking like that person, right? People can see very clearly what's real and what's fake. Yeah. So the best thing for you to do is embrace your speaking style, right? Acknowledge that these are the things I'm good at. These are the things I'm not so good at. For example, I'm not a funny person, right? So if I tried to tell a joke, it would fall flat. So I try to avoid that completely because I just know I'm not good at joke telling.
Yeah.
I know what my strengths are, so I play on those strengths. So I think it does require a little bit of internal work, but figure out those things that you're good at and play on those, right? Like, for example, one of my clients is such an amazing storyteller that I was like, listen, every time you speak, you need to tell a story behind what you're saying, right? Some people are great at storytelling. Some people are horrible. If you're not good at it, find something else. We're all great at something. You just have to figure out what it is and play on it.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
Yeah. So, okay. So, understanding your strengths.
Your turn, Rigo.
What?
Oh, don't think you're getting out of this. When's your
well,
turn?
no, we're
Are you just milking the clock here?
No. I'm like, well, we got to go here soon. Honestly, we do have time.
I know. I'm ready. I want to watch you squirm, mister.
So why don't we do this? And this is what I do during my impromptu sessions, right? Sometimes I'll have a client ask another client a question, and then we evaluate the answer. So Krista, you know Rigo really well, right? So why don't we have you ask him a question, and then Rigo, you'll have 2 minutes to answer the question.
Technical difficulties, Donnie? Is that what you were saying? No? Let's do it. Hey, I'm down. Let's go.
You got it this way.
Yeah, let's go.
Then,
I'm ready.
We'll talk about your answer after, okay?
Okay. So I'm coming up with a question for Rigo.
Yes.
And then what's the instruction? You're going to time me, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to talk for a period of time.
Pretend like you're talking to someone you don't know. You're at a business meeting somewhere, and somebody asks you a question. How are you going to answer this question?
Okay.
Could be anything.
Are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Hot seat time. Donnie, you ready? Are you timing, Maria?
Yes, I'm timing.
All right.
Okay. So you are mentoring a client, and this client comes into your beautiful new office, and they tell you that LinkedIn is dead and not a usable platform and not something that will ever help them grow their business or help them make money. How do you motivate and inspire this person without completely putting your thumb on them and squashing them?
Thanks for a simple question.
You're welcome.
All
2 minutes, Rigo. 2 minutes, start now.
All right. So, Krista, that is a great concern, especially if you're looking to grow your business. And I understand how that can be tough. What I would like to get to understand a little bit more about you is your experience in trying to grow your business or get your message out in platforms like LinkedIn. And so I want to be able to sit down and really unpack this, because it's what I've come to find out is that what we typically do when we hit a frustration or an obstacle that we don't understand is we assume that there is something wrong with the process or the tool, versus not understanding how to properly navigate through a process or how to properly use a tool. So I can take a screwdriver and turn it around and it can become a hammer, but it's not going to be efficient. I may hurt myself in the process, and I'm probably not going to do a good job for a long period of time with that quote unquote hammer. Or I can take a actual hammer and understand how to use it properly, and now I can do more with it and be more effective. So just like in social media, in any level of getting attention or bringing your brand or taking your message or serving the public in any way,
30 seconds.
How we bring that out and how we navigate the tool that we use and how we take our strengths and attract our potential clients, that's what's going to matter. So if LinkedIn is not working for you, I want to understand why it's not working, and let's go through and find the right platform for you, because it's not about LinkedIn. It's about what's going to be the right thing to get your message across. So before we get this concluded, what I would like to know is, what have you tried? How long have you done that? And how we can improve that process.
Oh, that was good, Rigo.
Nice, Rigo.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome.
Yes.
So
I have my notes.
All right. So let's go. Yeah, I'm ready too, because this one I was like, oh, where am I going with this?
Before that, I'm gonna ask Krista. Krista, what did you think of Rigo's answer?
I was nervous for you, Rigo. And here's why.
All right. Oh, I know.
I was too, to be honest.
Yeah, here's why. Because we are intense people and we believe what we believe. And so it's like, ooh, how's he going to soften this? Because I know people like you and we want to bring the thunder. Like, are you crazy? But I thought you did such a good job of being like, hey, it's not about the platform. It's about your message and your people. And I am so impressed with you, Rigo.
Thanks. Thanks, Krista.
Nice. Thanks, Krista.
Yeah.
All right, Rigo, you want to hear my take on
I do. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, right? Absolutely. But thank you, Krista. Honestly, that was really challenging. Funny enough, it was because.
By the way, so everybody knows, I literally made that up 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
it's a great question.
I already told. Listen, I told these ladies offline. I'm like, look, it was a long night for me. Okay, entertaining some clients. I really want this to be kind of the Krista and Maria show today. So, anyways, so yeah, all right.
We had to get you in to go.
Bring it. Let's go.
All right. So, as always, I first like to talk about the things you're already doing well. Because
so this is the compliment sandwich.
This is the compliment sandwich. Okay, if I came in and I was like, Rigo, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm never doing this again, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we first talk about the good things. Okay.
Yeah.
So the really good thing with you, Rigo, is I feel like your pacing is amazing, right? So you took your time speaking and then you went on to the next thing. There were some nice pauses in between. Pauses are amazing. And people don't pay attention to those as much, right? If you're just talking, you're not pausing, it's too much for people, right? So if you're going to pause in between, do it very strategically, which I think you did. Pause, let people process what you're saying, right? Not everybody's as fast as thinking. Not everybody understands as quickly as others do, right? So make sure you're taking your time, which you were doing. So that was great. The pausing, the pacing was amazing. I love that you threw in an example, the screwdriver example, right? Anytime you can throw an example, you can throw in a story, you can throw in a studies show, right? You get people's attention and they understand better. So great job with that, okay? Let's talk about the other stuff now. Rigo's like, oh.
No, I love this. I love this. I told you, like, this is great. Okay. Like, hey, listen, so, you see me telling people I'm going to teach in public speaking? Nope.
So first thing, let's forget the question for a second, right? Anytime you're talking to your audience, you never want to create any barriers between you and your audience. So Rigo, you have a laptop there, right? That's a barrier, right? I would definitely try to either keep it on the side or turn it over, right? Your hands can be a barrier. Like, when we close off our hands, when we're trying to hide or we're afraid, we use our hands to cover ourselves. Don't have any barriers between you and your audience. There should be literally nothing, right? Like me and Krista right now, there's nothing. A cup is okay, Krista, but try to keep it to the side as much as you can. Do not create any barriers. Never stand behind a podium when you're speaking, right? So Rigo, try to get rid of that laptop or at least move it to the side. So there's nothing between you and your audience. Okay. First thing.
You know what? It's funny. There's a psychological element to that. Never even considered that. That's good. I like that.
I don't know if you guys know, but I'm doing clinical psychology right now. I'm doing my master's in it. And I think I incorporate a lot of that into my public speaking. And I think that's why my clients get such good results because it's all psychological.
Absolutely.
No, I think that's super important, right?
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of things that are happening at the subconscious level that we are aware or unaware of. And these are those important little attributes that really make the difference. I think that's phenomenal.
So good.
What you brought that up, because obviously in this setting, right, this is a studio and this is how we're running the program. And I'm sitting here. So, we're running this while going live at the same time. So in order for me to do things it would be impossible not to have this, right? But
to the side.
But in an engaging type of a conversation, I think that's interesting, which is really funny that you mentioned it. Donnie, switch over to the second camera. This is why we came up with this camera.
Yes.
So we came up with that for when I get into a more of an intense conversation, or if I'm bringing something. This is more that passionate Rico camera, right? Like,
I love it.
Right? And we did that on purpose.
He's reaching
yeah, I'm just like, come into the conversation. But no, we seriously did that because I didn't like the feeling that you were being blocked too. But more importantly, you know, because there's not too much I can do about it. But I never thought about it through the psychology side of it, or psychological side. So this is really good. Anyways, go back. I like that one. That was a huge tip.
That is a good one.
Yeah. And I have an entire, like, my all module 6 is psychology of people. So huge, right? Psychology is huge when it comes to public speaking. So second thing is that I feel like you took a lot of time getting to the answer, right? When somebody asks you a question.
So did I, by the way.
When somebody asks you a question, for example, you're networking, right? So the reason why I give you 2 minutes is usually we'll have like not that much time to speak, right? So you have those 2 minutes, you got to get your answer in out first, right? Then you can talk about all the other stuff like those example stories, and then you can go back into elaborating, right? So you said LinkedIn in the last 30 seconds, right? So you have to remember, if there are other people there too, right? You want to say that word. These are your key terms, right? You want to say LinkedIn a lot earlier because that's what we're talking about. And you actually want to answer the question early on, right? Get that out of the way. And then you can get into the examples and everything else that you're talking about. It was done really well, but this is
I like it. I like that.
A little bit better.
I can totally see it because right in the beginning, the truth is with that kind of a question, David brought that up too.
Rico needs 24 hours for that kind of.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
it's harder speaking for 2 minutes and getting it perfect than it is for half an hour. That's why I focus on those 2 minutes. You perfect those 2 minutes, it's 10 times easier speaking for 10 minutes and half an hour.
Yeah, no, this was great. I think that was phenomenal. And I totally see the tips and the things that you point out. You know what I'm really impressed with, Maria, is that you brought up, these are all actually significant and small little changes that could have easily been done without changing my style. It didn't interfere with the answer I gave. So you weren't critiquing any of that. I hope you guys are paying attention to this because I'm impressed with it as well. So I'll tell you, for instance, a question like, this isn't working for me. Well, most of the times when things don't work for people, it's not because it doesn't work. It's because they don't know how to use it. And it's not an insult, but how do you tell somebody you don't know how to do this is why it's not working? Okay. If I say this diet's not working, it's because I'm actually not dieting, right? Krista, you see this all the time. There's always a piece there, but this is part of habits, like you said, Maria, that have to be changed. And so you don't want somebody to feel that they're being attacked. So when I get a question like that, I ask, well, what are you doing? Because before I can tell you why something is or isn't working, I want to know how you're using it. And so, yeah, you're right. Right away, I could have said, well, LinkedIn may or may not be the right tool for you. So let's look at how you're using it now and evaluate it. So there's your 10-second answer. Yeah. And then we get into an explanation that helps break that down and creates more of a tangible image or something that they can start to attach to, and then understand that I'm not attacking or like you said, Krista, that I'm putting them down. So you didn't tell me change your style, your tonality is wrong. You said move this from the back to the front and then go back to it. Don't let people feel that they're being blocked in a conversation from me. You brought up a lot of the points that immediately make a correction in what I'm doing without making me feel uncomfortable or saying this, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah. So here's what I love about this too. So my husband is a captain in the Phoenix Fire Department. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the Phoenix Fire Department is a very competitive, it's one of the top fire departments in the United States, and they have oral boards. So if you want to become a firefighter, there's a process to getting hired, and like there's a process to every other job. But the last two pieces of becoming a firefighter in Phoenix is that you have to have a live interview in front of a panel. Maria, I can only imagine what a significant difference it would make for these gentlemen and some women to know these things, to use their hand, to not stare, because my husband tells me some of the stories, and there are some really big no-nos that happen in these conversations. And I can only imagine how beneficial it would be for them if they knew some of these things, like use your hand, don't stare at somebody, have some points to it. So this is so incredible because it goes so much further than just getting in front and speaking in front of an audience. It is every day-to-day things that you want to be mindful and aware of. And I love that that's what you are teaching other people, is really how to show up for themselves verbally in their world, right?
It's an art. It is an art. And your voice is the most powerful tool that you have, right? If you learn how to use it, you are going to go so far ahead in life, right? And the great thing is we all have a voice. We all have opinions. We all have thoughts, right? You learn how to use it. And like the things that I've been able to do just using my voice, right? It's incredible. So teaching people how to use their voice and going along with that journey with them, it's incredible. I love it. And this is why I do what I do.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Donnie, let's give Maria another round of applause. Thank you so much, Maria, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad you were able to come back. I know it was difficult for you to take this time away, and I am very, very grateful. I hope our audience as well. You guys, did you get value from this? I know I did. Krista, I know you did.
Hands down, yeah.
Right? Donnie's giving some thumbs up. He got value from it, and he's just sitting me on the board. So listen, you guys, share some love, show some love, drop it in the comments. Let us know. Again, I'm going to go ahead and if you go to the event, actually, go to the event, and you can find both Krista and Maria in there, and you can connect with them on LinkedIn and follow them and find out what's going on. Also, if you'd like to be able to get access to this, go ahead and register for it, even if you haven't or not. And we'll grab the registration. We'll send you a copy of this, and we'll send you her contact information as well, so you can get stuff. So Gold Rush, Dave says. I love that. Yeah, thanks. That was nuggets everywhere. It really was. This was a phenomenal call. Maria, you are welcome to come back anytime and put Krista on the hot seat. Doesn't bother me one bit. Anytime. You never have to ask. You just say, I'm in the mood
for some hot seat time.
Hot seat time. You can come back.
So much fun.
Yeah, love it. So awesome. Thank you so much again. So again, you guys, thank you for being here. Real quick, I'm going to throw it up again. If you'd like to know more about this program and what we're doing, and you want to get notifications before we go live, do me a favor, and there it is right there. Join the community by doing this. #lunch, 316-799-8052. By the way, it only works in North America. So some of our folks that have been great supporters of the program like to remind me this doesn't work in the UK. And I'm like, sorry, don't know what to tell you. But what you can do is get me something in the comments. Let me know that you want to be notified about what we do, and we'll put you on an email list. That's the only other option I think I have. And we'll give you more information about our guests and about what we're doing. So anyways, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. We're going to let you guys go. Maria, if you have any last words or anything you'd like to share with the audience, same thing with you, Krista. Now's your time, and I'll give you guys the floor.
Sure. I'd love to go first, Krista, if
Yeah.
that's okay with you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, again, thank you so much, you guys, for coming. And I love connecting with people. So if you guys want to connect with me, talk to me, please reach out to me. I love LinkedIn, and the amount of people that I've met here, amazing. And just like the last thing about public speaking, it took me a long time to realize how important it is. And I'm so glad that I invested that time, that energy, the money into becoming a better public speaker. So if you're still on the fence about it, I'm telling you right now, it's completely going to change your life. You're not just your professional life, but your personal life too, right? So if this is something you're thinking about, take action and do something about it, because you don't want to waste time, right? Every time you're speaking, you're auditioning for leadership, for success. So don't waste that time. If you can learn public speaking, then take that opportunity and learn it. It's going to change your life.
I love it. I love your heart. I love your mission. This was probably the most fun we've had on the call.
Yay.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day. I know that you're crazy busy, and we have just been so blessed by you showing up today. So
I'm blessed that you guys had me here. Rigo believed in me from day one. Rigo reached out to me before anyone even knew who I was or what I was doing. And that's why I'm like, Rigo, nope, you tell me the time, I will be there.
I love it.
I love that.
It's not hard. It's not hard to see talent. I just absolutely, you can just see it. It's very natural in you, Maria. You're very passionate. It's real. And I believe in what you're doing. And it was just very clear to see. So I'm extremely excited for your success, and I want to see more of it. And I want to have you back. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll work on some stuff on the back end once you kind of calm down with this giant explosion of business and growth that you've been having that we're all very proud of. But I really want to be able to have you back, because I think what you can help and offer is a phenomenal thing. Yeah. All right, listen, we are done and we're late, so we're going to let you guys get back to work because it's the middle of the day and it's Thursday. And if you're here, you're already taking a minute out of your lunch to do so. So thank you so much. Nothing but gratitude for you guys being here and your continued support of LunchTalk and our program. So, Donnie, with that, we're going to let you guys go. Send us out, buddy. Talk to you guys later. See you next week.